Mhm.
Somewhere I
Okay.
need to make myself a note to do that. Well, welcome. And I know, okay, I am one of those that it's 6 o'clock, so let's start and we'll probably have a couple more people join us as we go. But thank you for coming on and learning a little and we can talk and we don't have to take an hour. We can be 15, 30 minutes, whatever we need. But Lynn Burke had another thing come up tonight, so she won't be on. And because we've kind of been talking and doing these trainings together the first Monday of every month. So let's see. And I know that there was several of them, like our district governor Paula is in Yellowstone with the international guest, which was Mark Mansell. So there won't be a whole lot of people from the higher echelon, but we're going to have lots of information, I'm sure. And I don't know if Alex McDonald is the 39E marketing person, which he also, and I'm not sure even what he does, but he's with Envision, but he lives in Pocatello. John Hand is 39W marketing person, and he's in Boise. And so, and Kurt Kelly was the MD 39 marketing person last year, but I guess he hasn't considered or said yes this year.
No, I'm not going to. I'll train whoever wants to take it over. And I was the 39W marketing chair the year before that, or 2 years before that, when she was council chair and when she was district governor. I've also been doing marketing for our club for forever, maybe. Seems like it, 15 years at least. So I've
Great.
got been doing it for quite a while.
So you've had some experience. That's awesome. At least that's what I need is somebody that's done it, kind of can guide us through some of the steps. So uh, I guess, John, we'll turn this time over to you. I just want to know, I mean, what is marketing? How do we approach? How do we talk about it? What do we do? I'm going to turn it over to you. You just share what you want to share with us. And we'll either, if we have a question or a suggestion, please just jump in, keep your mic open, and you can talk, kind of just talk to us. Okay? So, John, thank you.
Sure, sounds great. And Kurt and I have partnered plenty in the past, and I think from a Lions perspective, there's nobody better in the district and more perspective than Kurt has. So I'm glad that he's here. So from Kristen and Christina, can I just find out where you're from? Which clubs?
Emmett,
Thank you. And Christina?
hey John, it's Caldwell.
Oh,
We've
hi. How are you? There you are.
we've worked together at the booth.
We did sure did, didn't we? Yeah, that
Sorry,
was
I
right.
just got home from work, so I'm shoveling my face right now.
Oh no, that's okay.
Not a problem.
No problem. Good to good to see you. Thanks for being here. So, question, what's marketing? So, by way of background, I was a marketing guy at HP and was part of my career. So I do have kind of that, whatever you want to call it, kind of corporate marketing um, and I think that basically what marketing is throwing things up on a wall and then seeing what sticks. And so I think experimentation around trying to get attention is where everything starts. Um, and I think that um, whether that's for Lions or whether it's for a LaserJet printer or whatever, kind of the same thing goes. You need to be able to get people's attention. And then I think the other part that goes along with that is a couple of essentials. Number one is your messaging. We were just talking a few minutes ago about what's the elevator pitch? What's the elevator pitch? Why Lions? What is it? And so I think that that's essential. The other part I think that's essential is how are like what programs do you have? Because getting people's attention is great, but you have to be able to have um, a compelling action to take from that. And I don't care. So marketing has um, many different types of forms. The stuff that we all think classically is whether it's through press or radio or television, and now of course social media. But marketing is also, event posters, and it is being present um, at complimentary activities and being ready to share that message whenever and however. And I think that's something that, we as Lions, we struggle with that sometimes. Lions tend to be pretty quiet, and Lions tend to be pretty, uh, I mean, we don't wear Shriners hats, right? So we've got our vests on sometimes, but other than that, we're kind of a quiet bunch. And I, when you think about um, why are we trying to get people's attention? It's because we have a program that we want to activate and communicate to them. However, whatever means that is. So, Kurt, I guess I would just ask you if you have additional perspective on that question.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Um, Lions does provide some good information that will help you out if you're not experienced as a marketer. They've got the club marketing guide, which is on the Lions Club International website. Just type in club marketing, you'll pull it up. They now have lionsvirtual.org, and I use Lions Market to Grow quite a bit when I'm writing articles for the paper or maybe taking the summary of our meetings and putting it on Facebook. Lynn does a good job of writing stuff up. I'm still in the business mode, even though I've been retired for a long time, and it goes through and spiffs it up a little bit. I don't let it write stuff because they don't always have it right, but they can go through and make it a little easier to read. I guess a good way to put it. Um, Mark Lyon, Lyon, does some marketing videos. I haven't done it to any of his in the last year or so, but he was doing a series. You can find him on YouTube, and they have a program that we're doing it once a month. See what else we got here. One of the things you need to do, particularly if you're doing a project that you're inviting the public to, is to have a marketing campaign lined out. And I've done that a couple times for our Found Kids booth at the Western Idaho Fair, which involved actually getting on TV a couple times. I know somebody saw it because somebody came up to the booth one day when I was there and said, "Did I see you on TV?" So at least one person saw it besides my wife. I don't know what it's like in Pocatello or
Yeah.
where do you live? Oh, you live in Wyoming, right, Joyce?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we got TV stations here, but the main station here, Channel 7, is kind of a bear to get into. You just have to be persistent. And same with the other ones, particularly if they don't know you. Uh, I do some newspaper stuff. Actually, when I was the marketing chair for the multiple district last year, I wrote some articles about the clubs in 39E. I also did it for 39W, but you got to play to your audience. And I think that the people in Eastern Idaho maybe aren't as savvy in social media. Is that a good way to put it, Joyce?
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
still read newspapers.
Yes.
Um,
Real papers.
yeah, okay. But the nice thing of getting in the paper, whether regardless of what your audience is, you can always put the article back onto social media like Facebook or Instagram, this sort of stuff. So it gives you really get it both ways. Uh, we some of the things I set up for our club. Got to look at my list here. We've got a club email. I would encourage all clubs to have a club email. Ours is boisebenchlions@gmail.com and designate somebody to monitor on a regular basis. I think I set that up probably 15 years ago, and I've been the one doing it. Uh, we use Adobe Express for doing flyers. We send flyers out to our members every week on the meetings. Emmett does real good flyers. She
Thank you.
smiles. Yeah, they're great. I'm jealous. Your company, the company you work for, pays for the program or something, or does the club pay for it?
The club pays for Canva.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. We're too cheap. But
That was going to be my next question. Did anybody try Canva? Because I remember we went to a convention and that's what they were talking about. I think it was you, Kurt, in that workshop that day.
what was I talking about?
Canva.
Canva. Oh, yeah, I've tried it. The person that does our flyers isn't real comfortable with it either. So we stuck with Adobe Express. I have done a couple using PowerPoint. You don't get the action like you do that you can do if you actually pay for something, but you can put more pictures in and text and stuff. But there's a couple ways to skin the cat. So what do you use up in Emmett? Is that Adobe or Canva or
It's Canva.
Canva? Okay. She's the expert in Canva. So,
Okay. Guess I'll have to go visit.
yeah, you do that. Yeah, I tried it, and I just since we're not paying for everything, they have a lot of stuff that you just can't use. So I guess we're using the stuff we're comfortable with. I did set up a YouTube channel for both our club, the district, and multiple district, and did some videos like for the club. We do stuff with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, Ronald McDonald House, the food bank, and I did some other similar ones for the multiple district and the district. And that's another way to get the information out. I totaled up how many, lost it. Anyways, in the last couple of years since I set up the YouTube channel for our club, we've had like 3,500 views of different things on there. I know not everybody goes through all the videos. I'm guilty of that too, but we do have people actually look through the whole thing and even get a couple likes. So I know people are actually looking at it. I also post stuff on Instagram and Threads. I do Facebook quite a bit. Started putting stuff on Tumblr. I don't know how good that is. And I use X once in a while. I'm not so sure that's the best place, but the whole thing is, as John was saying, you got to get the word out. You don't always get a reaction out of people, but if you get the word out enough, you'll be noticed. We do have a new website that Lynn actually had the bulk of the designing on it, BoiseBenchLions.com. We were using the Lions E Clubhouse site, which we've had for a long time. And that was effective getting people in because we had the BoiseBenchLions.com and .org. So it was kind of easy to find. The website is kind of the gateway to your club. It does stay more static than Facebook, so you can put down where you meet, have a calendar, have your club email. Sometimes one of your members, like maybe the president, wants his phone number on there, although we've taken them all off now. There seems to be a lot of garbage out there, but I think we've had at least 3 people, maybe the last 4, who have joined the club because they found us on our website. A couple of you probably know Dennis Burks. He set up a monthly social. I think we've got a few members through that too. I don't usually go to them because they're on the other side of town. I'm too lazy to drive over there in the dark, but it's been pretty successful. And I think Lisa Gear was at the last one and actually inducted a new member. So you don't have to drink beer. You can drink water, whatever. But the social thing to get together. So.
Could I just add a little bit on
anything else? Go ahead.
Could I add a little bit on the website? So
sure.
just to step back, last year in our 24 to 25 Lions year for the district, I was district governor, and we invested $5,000 to create a web infrastructure that any club could choose to leverage. It's taken a long time. My fault, more than anybody's. But that's what Kurt is talking about. So we're there's really going to be a number of things there. We're beta testing with Boise Bench, and we're beta testing with Meridian. I'm from the Meridian Club. Kurt's from Boise Bench along with Lynn. But it's also for the district. And so the idea was to create something so any club could go out and for minimal cost and minimal effort, be able to set up their own web page without reinventing the wheel. So you can have exactly what Kurt is talking about for your club. You don't need to go find an expert. You don't need to do anything other than finding someone to help manage and populate that site as you choose. And so I just want to call attention to that any club that has a lot of stuff going on or wants to communicate, whether it's events or programs or whatever, that structure is there. And I think we're still working out what that cost will be, but think of it in terms of hundreds of dollars a year, not thousands of dollars. And that's just because we're trying to create that core infrastructure, which is in place now. Go ahead, Joyce.
Yeah, I think because Lynn said that Peggy wants to kind of roll it out and explain that at convention. So
Okay.
in 6 weeks, everybody will have that opportunity to hear how and what it's going to be. So awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there's going to be I believe, a demo of the website at that time. So it's just important for other clubs to understand that this is designed for you to take advantage of at a club level and not have to go find a web expert to go build it for you. Thanks,
Yeah,
Kurt.
even I can figure it out to update it. One of the things I didn't mention too is if you can have a team working on your marketing. I'm lucky. Took me a while, but I've got somebody who does our flyers and then somebody else who updates the website on a regular basis, and I can do that too. We've been traveling quite a bit, so I'm not doing it when I'm on vacation. And when I was the district marketing chair, I did have a partner in crime, so to speak. He didn't do any of the updating, but he knew a lot of the technical stuff. So between the two of us, we took turns writing articles for the district newsletter. I did more talking about Facebook and marketing stuff in general. He wrote about the technical issues. Unfortunately, about 3/4 of the way through the year, he changed jobs and had to leave because he was on the road a whole lot. And then when I was the multiple district chair, John had recruited one of their members to be the marketing chair for the district, and we worked together for a while. But she had some issues and kind of dropped out. But at least at the club level, I've got some help, and that really makes a difference because if somebody's not available, somebody else can do it. And love to have a couple more to do it. But yeah, so if you're looking at doing a marketing position, whether it's the district or the club, it's always handy to have somebody else. And the teamwork helps because you can bounce ideas off of each other, not just work in a dark hole all by yourself. So it's handy. Good way to put it. So, any
Right
other
on.
questions or
Yeah.
additions? Marie, have your club been using Facebook again, or I haven't really looked?
I have no idea. The secretary does not come around very much, and she's the one that is the only one that can access that page.
Oh,
She
well,
also started us an email address. I don't think nobody uses it because we don't even know what the address is.
oh, okay.
I noticed, I think that's kind of a big problem with the different clubs. I'm noticing like they don't have access to their Facebooks. They don't have enough people that
You're kind of cutting out.
you don't want too many people. Is it Marcy? Like Marcy, they lost access to their Facebook. So I don't know what we need to. I'm frozen on my thing. Can you guys still hear me?
You're cutting in and
Sort
out
of.
here.
On occasion.
Okay. On occasion. Okay, I'm sorry, bad internet. But I think that we need to figure out a way that people can keep access to their Facebooks, to their emails, that multiple people have the access.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
you're
sure who needs to address that.
Yeah, well, the person who is the administrator of the Facebook page can grant access to anybody they want. So, for example, for the Boise Bench Facebook page, I think I've got 6 or 7 people who have access to it, and they can post pictures, and I think at least one other admin person. And I did the same thing for the multiple district Facebook page. So I think there's another 4 people there. Paula Turner uh, posts quite a bit, and I see stuff from the 39E Facebook page. I don't know if I gave you access or not, Joyce, but your stuff shows up. So maybe I've got the multiple district one following you. So, but yeah, the admin person can do it. As far as the clubs losing access, that was a problem. I haven't heard too much about it lately. I I did do a write up. I got information from Lions Club International how to send in information. I think the Lions Club International where it goes, and they can get a hold of Facebook. And at least if your Facebook page is still active, it shouldn't get shut down. I can't remember if there were instructions there on how to reactivate it. I know I sent it out, and I never heard it from anybody that they were able to reactivate. But at least they can kind of block Meta from cutting the Facebook page out. I think it was Nampa lost their Facebook page 3 or 4 years ago, and they set another one up. I don't know what the other clubs are doing, but Nampa set another one up. I think for a while it said Nampa Lions New or something on it, so they just created another page. That might be the easiest way to get it going. You lose all your old information that you had, but at least you're back up on the Facebook.
Yes.
That's what we had to do because we had a member that passed away of cancer, and she's the one that had started it, and nobody else had access. So we sort of canceled that one and made a new one, but now I'm having the same problem because the secretary has not given anybody else access. So like at Christmas time when we were delivering the food boxes and everything, we had pictures, we did all kinds of stuff, and nothing went on Facebook because we don't have access. So it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that's a real problem. Yeah, she needs to give you access or
Yeah.
twist her arm. Don't hurt her too much, but twist her arm.
Yeah, kind of like you said, though, you need a committee or, like if your club's small, all 5 people need to have access.
Right.
Yeah.
I have 10 people, but I have maybe 5 that don't have access because some of them are older and they don't even know what Facebook is. So
yeah, not everybody uses Facebook. Not everybody likes it. I had somebody join the club a couple of years ago who I think kind of taught technology stuff in school, and she said, well, I don't want to do Facebook because there's so much junk on it, which there is. I pretty much kept it off the Lions websites by going through and clicking, and I don't know how the algorithm works, but once in a while something sneaks in there that really shouldn't be there. But most of the time that stays pretty clean. It's just ignore it. Go like that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know the solution.
But I do think that topic is a huge topic for a lot of clubs, and as you're going into, especially the change of officers in July is in the run up to that. Make that, try to make that part of your planning is like, what is the transition plan? I mean, we deal with that with treasurers every year. People need to get signed on to the bank. People need to, have.
We finally, it took us almost 6 months to get the bank thing finished.
but you got it done, and it took huge
Yeah.
persistence.
Yeah.
But that's a big problem for
Hmm.
clubs
Yeah.
every year. But I think the same thing goes if you have a Canva license for your club, or if you
Hmm.
have what we're talking about here with your secretary, whatever those
Hmm.
things are, when you're setting those up right at the beginning, if you can
Hmm.
create kind of a succession plan or a transition plan and spell out like these are the transition items we need to do, and this is who
Hmm.
it's going to be, and not and really never put yourself, especially from a treasurer perspective, never put yourself with a the person in that office being the only person who can get access to
Hmm.
and and sign all that kind of stuff. So I think this just fits kind of into that overall bucket of
Hmm.
how you do that. So
But it's better transparency. Like you probably all heard of what's in the news, what's going on in Homedale at the seniors center, where they all got locked out, and president and vice president are being investigated. So people with long fingers, I guess. But you have to be, and that's why I called an audit every 6 months. But I have a hard time getting the minutes from that one and the treasurer's report from the other one.
Mm.
So tomorrow, that's my thing. They're going to hear me bitch at the meeting, but I got to do it.
got to do it. And there's 100 members of Boise Bench. There's not 100 members in Adrian, right? So it all depends on the circumstances of your
Hmm.
club. But I think making the plan for it and then it's documented and
It's
people
like
know, like,
everybody's on their own power trip and they want to do their own thing. There are
yeah,
rules that we have to follow, guys. I don't make
yes,
them, I just try to enforce them.
for for sure. And it's a super hard thing
Yeah.
from a club
Yeah.
management perspective. But
But I got 2 more new members and I probably have another one next month. So,
Oh,
good job,
fantastic.
Marie. Way
Great.
to go.
so,
That's great.
Okay, so
and
my first thing then, I need to remember when we're doing a project or something is probably get like a poster to advertise and put it wherever we are, whatever we're doing. I mean, that's probably one of the basic things to start with.
mhm,
It is. And I think it's worth just throwing in to your point, Joyce, it's like, what's the branding of your club? What's the brand? What's the brand identity? Do you want consistency? Because if you're going to do 6 events in the course of a year, do you want to have 6 totally different posters with different looks and feel and different whatever? Probably not, because you want people to come back to your club identity, and that was one of the reasons that we rolled out last year this concept of the Snake River
mhm,
Lions clubs, where it would be like an umbrella across all of the 39W um, clubs. And we tried, Joyce, to make that a 39, a multiple district thing. Um, didn't work, at least for now. But the concept of that is like if you're going to have Homedale and Marsing and Caldwell working together on a project, or you're going to have clubs in the Treasure Valley who are going to work the fair together to do something, then it's like people don't want to people um, will gravitate to what they can understand, and that's the
mhm,
idea of saying Snake River Lions. People will say, "Oh, Snake River, it's local, Idaho-ish, whatever."
mhm,
Um, but to the extent that your club wants to play in that space is up to you all. But if you're branding for your club, then just think about that concept of consistency. Because if you go to, let's say you have somebody whose sibling is a graphic designer and you want to create deliverables. Now, a deliverable can be a poster, right? It can be a social media ad, right? It cuts across
mhm,
whatever kind um, of deliverables you want to have. You want to create something that is easily repeatable, and you're not starting from scratch every time. And so, I just want to say that up front with Joyce's question, that think about beyond the event and think about what your club's strategy is long term and you know, how you want to be perceived in your area.
Mhm. Good.
John, I did use your, I keep blocking out. I did use your snake, the pound snake
Oh,
in
you
the
did?
posts for Caldwell. I've been using those. Joyce, have you used Chat GPT at all?
Yes,
Lions to grow your lions?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's where we do all our press releases and stuff.
Ah, good idea. Yeah, so then they get you get what gets, you say what you want to say in a good way. Okay.
Yeah, and I think going back to what Kurt was talking about earlier, I think it's really good. I believe that Lions has a healthy perspective on AI and ChatGPT in particular, that it's a tool. It's, I agree that it shouldn't be the origination point for what the message is, but it does help you build consistency and the obvious um, uh, grammatical or other errors. So I do think that it's, this what Lions have invested in is pretty powerful and easy to use, and um, it can help you really build that consistent messaging because it will learn, the voice of your club, um, and and
So I also
I
like
think
it
it's
for
good.
when I want to write something because, of my French, the verb is not always at the same place in the sentence as in English. And it corrects me real fast.
Yeah.
It does come in handy, but you got to make sure that it has the facts straight.
You bet.
Yeah.
So Kristen, do you have a marketing plan for what you do for the car show and that stuff up there in Emmett, or?
Um, well, this is actually my first starting of the year with the marketing plan for it. So
Oh,
I kind of finished it last year. I came on in June. So I'm just slowly going through it and kind of going from what we did in the past to do some new ones this year.
okay. Well, good. Well, at least you're thinking about it. You're putting something together.
Mhm.
So I think that will help you. I don't do that many marketing plans. I guess I got too much here, but going in my brain. But like for the Found Kids booth, I've done them a couple times. We're working on a new one this year, so we get more kids coming over and registering at the fair. So they do come in handy. You don't need it for everything, but particularly for your car show, yeah, that's great that you're doing that.
Yeah, and I think going back to your, there's some service projects. As an example, in Meridian, there's a library event the beginning of every summer that is really targeted at kids and families to try to get them activated. And we as Lions, we go there and support that. That's not necessarily one of our big projects, but that's the kind of thing that if you do have that strategy and you do have a plan in place for your marketing deliverables, and you have somebody who's doing that work for you, and it's like, hey, we need to knock something out for a library event that is really a service event. It's not a project. You can still do that kind of work, um, and have that done and spread the word. If you know, build a marketing plan, it's good to have a marketing plan for a year. It's good to have a marketing plan for your big projects for sure. But it's also something that you can just leverage so easily because if you have a vendor who's doing printing for you, in Meridian, we have a vendor who does a really nice job of doing discounted printing and helping us out as their service and support. If you can find a vendor like that, the only thing that they ever ask for is like, give us a little bit of time. Give us a little bit of time. And when you go to a printer on Wednesday for a Saturday event, um, then that doesn't always work out so well. So anyway, just when you look over at marketing, I would just say if you have some significant service activities as well, um, I right away think about Kurt's team and what they do building beds for youth. I mean, that is a huge service project. It is continual service project all year. And there's probably some, Kurt does a great job and Lynn does a great job uh, tracking those events. But but there's possibly more things that they could do from a marketing deliverable just to demonstrate how awesome they are in their community.
Great ideas. Other questions? Anybody else have something to share about marketing? I think it's just something we just need to consciously think about.
Mhm. So I recycle cans through the community. We have a drop box and they leave their empty bottles and cans and we sort everything out and we cash them in. And that's how we raise the funds to help the community. But I need something to make a poster. I haven't figured out how to do it yet so that the community knows more about it. So it's like it used to be the school. Some people think it's still the school. So a lot of the money goes to help the school, but still a Lions project. So
Okay, so I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second. One of the things that I tried to work on as district governor was, and kind of back to that whole Snake River Lions thing. It's
mhm,
it's really about how do clubs collaborate more effectively together. I think that a lot of the clubs historically they have, you know, they're kind of isolated and working on their own,
mhm,
or there's competition between clubs, or there's somebody got irritated with somebody 20 years ago and we don't talk to those guys anymore, whatever. Um, all those things happen. And I think that if you can help knock those walls down, working with the clubs in your area, um, then you can help find more resources.
mhm.
So for Adrian, right, there could be somebody in Caldwell, right, Christina, that's saying,
Yes.
"Hey,
Just give us a call. Any of us, give us a call and we'll be there for you.
and that's
Thank
the
you.
part, and
Mhm,
that's I think that spirit
mhm,
is a great starting point. No lion is going to be offended by someone saying, "Hey, we don't have somebody that works with Canva, but I know Emmett does." And so,
mhm.
you know, could they
Yep.
help make this happen, or link it up so we don't have to start from scratch, just like the website. Every club
Mhm.
should not be starting from scratch on anything, especially related to marketing, but I just think in general.
We have Nampa that gets a hold of us if they need extra people for vision screening. We have Middleton, they needed extra people for a softball tournament, you know, and over half our club will show up for that kind of stuff.
We,
My question when it comes to marketing is I think we're losing a niche. And I'm one of the older people, in my opinion. I use Facebook. It's learning, it's getting on TikTok and the Snap, whatever that, you know, the different, the new technology. And I'm
Snapchat.
hoping,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm hoping with the new, we have a new Leo's Club that we just started. I'm
Awesome.
hoping maybe we could like get some talent from there to help our club come into the century.
You bet. I think it's really a great point. I agree that Facebook is kind of social media for old people who try
Yeah.
and track their track their
Think for
kids and
yourself.
grandkids. So I do think Facebook is essential personally.
Yes.
Um, so I think it's the place to start. I think Instagram is probably number two, but your strategy I think is the right thing, especially if we want to attract people in their
Mhm,
30s and God forbid 20s. Like Emmett. I mean, look at the young folks that have come into the Emmett Club over the last year or two. It's amazing. But you have to, maybe that's a message I'll just say about marketing in general. You can't think about where you're at as a club. You got to think about where the people are that you're trying to talk to. You got to be where they are, not where you are.
mhm,
And so whether that's for an event or a project, and you're trying to communicate to that, who are you trying to reach? And what do they want to hear? Do they want to hear Lions lingo? I guarantee you they don't. That's where that messaging is so important. And you gotta think about whether it's the elevator pitch or anything else, you gotta think about that early and document it and practice it and share it and teach it with, the members of your club. So I think that that's important. But then at the same time, you always want to be messaging to people that you want to have join, right? There's prospective lions in every place we go, every place we go. And if you think about messaging to people about an event or project, great. But at the same time, you can message to other people about joining and um, and create that. But it all takes proactivity and thought leadership and really collaboration across the clubs. We all just need to work more effectively together because we have some people who are unbelievable recruiters um, and they execute because they not only ask the question, but they close the deal. Boise Bench being a terrific example,
Yes.
Mountain Home being a great example, Caldwell has been awesome, Emmett and what Larry has done, across with the branch club. I mean, there are all these pockets of really great things. Um, but we don't have that going on in every club. And it takes a little bit of effort and sharing. So if you find something that really works, Kurt was talking earlier about those Tuesday meetings, once a month, social gatherings. They're a blast.
hmm
They're fun. They're communicated very well, and they demonstrate results. So take that as a best practice, and create one for even because it's not an exclusive thing for Boise Bench. They invite other people from other clubs and adopt those best practices as you see them.
So my first Tuesday of the month is my regular meeting. My Tuesday of the month is my social thing, but I usually invite a guest speaker and I open it up and I invite people from Nissa, Homedale. So I send the flyers out. I make my own flyers and send them out. Lisa was my first guest speaker, and they really liked her. She was hard to follow.
She's
And Larry
yeah,
was
she's
there for Envision last month, so.
You're on a roll.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's stuff that would be really good to put on Facebook too, or Instagram, or any of these other social media things
Mhm.
that you can come up with. Get a little more publicity. So yeah, with the question about the Facebook pages being shut down, I'll see if I can find the article. I don't know if I can get it in time to put in the district newsletter, but I'll get that. If I don't get it in this month, I'll get it next month. I got a busy week. So I got to be at the eye
Mhm.
doctor at 6:15 tomorrow morning. So yeah, all kinds of fun. So yeah. Anyway,
Good
so
luck.
I'll get that in, and hopefully somebody will read it. I don't know if people read the newsletter religiously, but at least they'll be out there.
I have to say, one of our funnest recruits last year, we had a Mrs. Roper from Threa's company.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
We
yeah.
had we just a bunch of us Lions got together and we had a thing down at Indian Creek. Well, just talking to people, we got a recruit from that.
That is
Oh,
awesome.
well,
So
good.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
okay,
That should have been on TikTok.
Mhm.
Yeah,
right
but I
right
think you're
right
right
on.
about get your Leos. They are so techy. They can get things up and running and uh,
Just just make sure they don't own the password.
yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly.
Have a co-pilot. The other thing I do want to call out back to the Snake River Lions thing. So there's a tent that we purchased as a district last year. It's a 10-foot by 20-foot. It's very nice. It's a three-sided uh, tent with focused on our global causes, um, and it's easy to set up and easy to bring down. And that's available for any club or clubs in the district for any event. And I think that there might be like a recruiting event that Boise Bench is doing. Kurt, I don't know if
It's our
if I'm
75th
remembering that right.
anniversary this year,
That's
and
what it
they
is.
want to borrow it to do our dinner at Frizzon's backyard next year on May 28th at the end of the year. So that's what it's for. It's not
Perfect.
recruiting. It's just
Okay.
keep us out of the
Okay.
rain.
That
Celebration.
might be nice.
But it's
That
a
might be nice for the Caldwell Rodeo
You bet.
to get people out of the, if we can put some tables and chairs underneath there.
There's plenty of
I'll
space. We used it at our barbecue event in August, and it was hot, and it serves that purpose very well. And so that again it's shared via the district, and Esteban is probably the best contact for where it is and who wants it. But it's an investment we made for every club.
right.
And it's very.
Are you storing, John? Are you storing it
Yeah.
at Envision?
Well, we were, but then when they started construction, I'm not sure where it ended up because of the construction, Kurt.
Well, I was just going to tell
From
you, Esteban's not at Envision anymore, so call
Right.
Edie.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you can. I don't know if Edie would know. It could be offsite. I just don't know, Kurt. So
Edie knows
Anyway.
everything, or she can find out. So call
she
her.
will find out. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do. Yeah, because they had to move everything into storage.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be really good when it's finished. So
But that's
Better be.
that's an item to just plan, do some planning for, reserve it for whatever dates, all that kind of thing,
Great.
without each club having to buy a tent. You can
Yeah.
if you want to.
Or renting. Yeah, that's awesome. Great ideas. Okay, I learned a lot about marketing tonight because that's not me, but I know there's some things that I can do, some simple things. So I think that's what we want, is to get clubs thinking about it. And I have recorded this because I know I think I've got 5 people who wanted the recording, and I may just send it out to all the presidents anyway, just so that everybody has a chance to talk about marketing and how to get started and to start thinking about it and getting Lions out there. So,
well, I can
Awesome.
put it on our YouTube channel too if you want to send it to me.
yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be great. Yeah, I can do that. It usually comes in tomorrow when I get the recording. So it
Okay.
usually takes a day. So,
All right.
okay, anything else? We can finish it up here, and I appreciate you joining us and sharing your knowledge. And I'm going to remember, Kristen is our Canva person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
We
Sorry, I
all
talked
maybe-
about it,
For a
but I don't
minute.
do it. But at least we get an expert here. So
Yep.
somebody that's used it. So that
Yeah.
gives you a starting point, like
Mhm.
a starting point.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out for Canva that if you ask people who are in their 20s to use PowerPoint, they're like, that fossil? What do you want? What do you want me to do in that fossil? So from this point forward, I would just encourage everyone to look at Canva as that tool to use that kind of stuff, not because it's better, but because it's the tool that these young people that we want to recruit into Lions, it's what they know and what they could bring that skill set to your club.
Mhm.
What they know. That's what we need, that knowledge base.
Yes.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you for joining.
okay.
Thanks, Joyce.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
We'll
Okay.
see you again somewhere.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye-bye.